Before we jumped on air today, I walked into an interesting conversation of kind of redemption for both you guys.
Definitely.
Obviously, I mean, myself included, we've all been through some shit, and we've all had
Absolutely.
to atone for our mishaps. And
Absolutely.
what does it mean to both of you to kind of be able to start to regain your footing in a space you dearly love? Katie, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm big on seniority. So the OG always get to go first. I
Okay,
know
oh,
I
then
know the
then
rules.
pass the mic then.
Okay.
Vern, what's it mean to you, man? Obviously, you played before us and got out before us and outstanding career, but obviously you had some trouble off the court. We ended up connecting on a whim at All Star, and it's been amazing ever since. But what is it? How's it been for you to kind of, again, same question I gave KD, to kind of regain your footing in the space you love so much?
Well, it's a blessing for me because, man, I was down at a low, man, at a point in my life where, I didn't know what direction was up and which way was down. And I had this young guy come up to me at my son's basketball game when my son was playing at North Meck High School. And he was like, he had this vision. His name's Cam Carter, my guy who really heads up my everything that I do. And he was like, young kid. I think he was like 23, 24 at the time. He's like, Max, you know, I think you'll be a good podcaster. And I looked at him, I was like, shit, like I was looking at him like, nigga, how much money that shit gonna cost me? You
Hmm.
know, I was like, shit, this shit gonna cost me some money. I ain't ready to do that. I'm trying to stay alive. So, but then I finally got into it, and then one thing led to another. That it's all about the numbers, Matt, and the numbers started coming together a little bit for me when I was with this company called Bovada. And shout out to Bovada because if it wasn't for them too, I wouldn't have. I was able to get out and do what I had to do. And but just like kept grinding, man, and kept grinding. And then I started with my mental health thing, my LLC, the Vernon Maxwell Initiative LLC. Started the mental health thing, and it was a blessing for me because, like I say about it all the time, if I can help one person when I talk about the
Mm,
mental health space, man,
Hmm.
I
mm.
don't care. Yeah, one person, if I can just help one person, they get it. And it means so much to me that, and then another thing with that, and I just like to say in the black community, is, we don't talk about it enough. And I think it's very much needed, and we cite, we all want to be, Mandingos, the big man, and in the crowd. So, and so I just think, it's okay to ask for help if you need it, and that's my thing, and that's what I care about, and that's what I like to talk about outside of talking shit about all my stories that I tell. And that's a reason what helped me get to this space where I'm at today. Appreciate my guys on all the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
we happy to have you. KD, same
No
question.
doubt.
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback what Max said is that like there's some stigmas that come along with us as black men. Like we're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to have feelings. We're supposed to internalize, right? All those different things, right? But the other side of that is that man, we see some traumas coming up. I know I got exposed to a lot of stuff, sexual abuse at an early age. You know what I mean? Seeing gunfights at an early age, poverty. You know what I mean? All these different things that you like carry with you. That a lot of times, like we are able to channel onto the court in our play, right? And so, like it bring that dog out of us. Like yeah, I'm a dog. But like man, deep down inside, when it gets quiet, when
We
it gets
hurt.
silent, when we
We
don't have
hurt.
an infrastructure like
Hmm.
the NBA, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? All these things start coming back. And so like man, for me, man, like just being a Florida boy and just seeing OG Mad Max, you know what I mean, and his journey. I still got a problem with how he got hair when he was bald head, when he would like double pump and finger roll that bitch. I still got a problem with that. But man, OG, like at the end of the day, man, like, I've gone through some
Yeah.
hardships in life, but I've also done some good. And you have to wear your story. Your story is not like chapters in the story. It's the journey.
Mhm.
And the
Absolutely.
journey continues. The marathon continues.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace,
Absolutely,
Nipsey
man.
Hussle. The marathon
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I,
continues.
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
I think that's why spaces like these are important. We started All the Smoke nearly 6 years ago to give people a safe platform to come tell their
Mhm.
stories, speak their truths, and we all came from an era. Keon, you and I caught the end of, or excuse me, the beginning of the social media era. But Vern, you lived in a full era where what they said about you or what they printed
Yes.
about you was the gospel. You
Mm-hmm.
never had a
Right.
rebuttal. You never had a voice. You
Absolutely.
never had an opportunity to rebuke any or
Absolutely.
dispute anything they say. So that's why I feel like obviously All the Smoke was so important when it came. And now you see a ton of sports podcasts in general, but
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
look at none of them as competition because I feel like each one has a unique journey, a
Absolutely.
unique story, and something to share. So I'm glad we got a chance to touch on that mental health side and that real side, because again, that's why we do this.